I think it was time. All right, this is my 2017 Ram 1500. It's got a 6-inch Fabtech lift. Looks like Zach's pulling up. This is why you replace your ball joints. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I already got the tire off. I'm gonna get a jack stand under here. Then we'll relieve some tension on the hub, or on the spindle here. We'll jack it up and start tearing this thing apart. Install our new control arms. All right, so in order to get this battle area off, I went ahead and grabbed a deep socket 13/16, able to get it behind, and actually used a little pipe to crack it loose, and then it came right off. If it were to start spinning in there, which you could do, I think this is a 10 millimeter, and you'd have to put a 13/16 wrench on the nut, and then a 10 millimeter on this piece here, and then you would loosen this, and I'll hold it in place, and then loosen the 13/16 from there. But I got the control arm loose, and then dropped the spindle out of there. Just kind of lowered the jack a little bit, and it came right out. I didn't even really have to give it a bonk. But now I got it seems to be an 18 millimeter socket in there. I just took a pipe and cracked this loose. And if you notice in here, there's these fancy little nuts that have like extended arms on them. So if you start loosening this and the nut starts spinning, that's okay. What'll happen is it'll spin all the way around. It'll bottom out on the frame. Then you'll be able to spin the nut off. But don't lose those. You reuse those. Got my new control arm here. For whatever reason, the nut fell out of the packaging, so I'm actually reusing the old nut. But here, I'll get you a part number. Here we go. These are from 1A Auto, and they should be a direct replacement. Comes with a nice upper ball joint, so I don't have to worry about mine going to shit, because old girl is in bad shape. I think most of this is self-inflicted, but these are factory control arms, but this doesn't sound too good. All right, I got the front bolt out too. Just go ahead and pull that control arm out. You're gonna see a little wire from, I think it's the ABS sensor. So I just disconnected it from here, and I think the new one comes with it. Let's see, that would probably be too easy. It does not. There's a hole, so we'll probably break it, and then we'll move on with our lives. All right, so this piece just pulled right out, so I'm gonna go ahead and reinsert in here. All right, that hardware slid right back on. I went ahead and put a liberal layer of grease on the bolts and on the face, on the bolt shaft itself, and on the face of either side of this. This thing was squeaking a little bit, so I figured I might as well do that. So we'll go ahead and crank down on these bolts and tighten these back up. We'll get the actual ball joint through the top of the spindle before we start cranking down on them, but it should be good. It's going together well. All right, we got the two bolts loosely tightened, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna go ahead and actually clean off all the old remnants of garbage that from the old blown up ball joint. I'm gonna put some grease on this tapered shaft here and a little on the inside, and we'll pop this through. All right, so the old manual says this spindle is supposed to be tightened to, this upper ball joint to spindle / steering knuckle is 40 foot-pounds, and then an additional 180 degrees. So I had 40 foot-pounds real easy, and then I just tightened it to a couple Ogadogas and then went a little tighter. These ones are 130, and we're gonna put it back together. So, I mean, this looks good. I was kind of hoping that this ball joint would seat in there, kind of slide down, but I guess we got a little bit of play to the point where it should seat down. But I also checked the other side, so I've got about 4 threads at the bottom. If we come around to the factory side that I haven't messed with, got almost exactly the same. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this thing back together. Don't forget to put your clip back in here, and good time to kind of inspect your brakes, check how much brake pad you got in there, and grease up the any other stuff yet hanging out, like this outer tie rod. Inspect your boots. I just had to replace one of these, and pretty much just give her a little once over. But I'm excited to have this thing be the way it's supposed to be. Let's get this tire back on. Also, not a bad time to inspect your wheel bearings. Just go ahead and tighten it up before you set it down, and sides up and down, no play, and then check your ball joints in your tie rod ends too, like this, left and right. But looks like we're in good shape. Let's torque these down. There's about 4 threads on that nut as well. So I'm happy with that. If we die, we die. Just when you think you're gonna get away with it, this is what I found. Looks like we're doing a tie rod end too. God damn it, no! So just shot some grease in there. You can see it squirting out the side of the bushing. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I should say the side of the rubber portion of the ball joint. It's kind of split right up in there. So yeah, I think we'll end up replacing this before too long. Ooh, that brake is hot. Not a whole lot of play. So anyways, let's get to it. We'll do this side and put the new one in. Brindled too. All right, call that good. Last time I did a front end replacement on my 03 Ram, the truck sat about an inch and a half higher in the front than it did before the worn out parts were replaced. So maybe we'll have the same thing happen here. It definitely looks good. Got some shiny parts in there, and we'll see about getting that tie rod end replaced. Where is it? There it is. Good stuff. Thanks for watching.